Hi, I'm Bill Bede, Frankenstein Comics in beautiful downtown Woodbury, New Jersey, 845 Mantua Ave, just south of Philadelphia proper. We're just south of the Popeyes Chicken. Years ago, I ran out of work. I always collected comics. I had to try to find some money, so we had a garage full of this stuff, and we did a show. We kept buying comics, and the next time I was out of work, we decided to try and do this full time.
Welcome to Frankenstein Comics. My name is Hobby Jones. I've been working here for about 10 years. I've known Bill for about 20 years. I was one of his customers. Fell on some hard times, and he actually helped me out and gave me some boxes of books to sell at a local flea market. And that kind of got me hooked into it, and I've been working for him ever since.
We've been in the store since the dawn of time. My wife, God bless her, has put up with me all these years. 28 years doing this nonsense.
Bill is the evaluator of the merit and value of the books. He tells me what they're worth, and I sort them into little piles and bag and board them. Very often when I'm going through this stuff, I'll find books that he has assigned into the $2 pile that are clearly worth more than $2. But I believe that's part of his marketing strategy, would you say?
We do things a certain way because we can make a living doing it this way.
The dedicated collectors in the area know about it. He's got stuff here for a much more reasonable price than you're going to find anywhere else. I've myself bought books for $1 from Bill that I later went and sold for greater amounts of money than that, but don't tell him.
I think every comic store is like a bar. This is the old guy bar. You would go in and get a draft beer for 35 cents, you know. We are really a meat and potatoes comic store. So it's still X-Men, and it's still Spider-Man, and it's still Batman. That's where we're at. I don't consider myself a success, but just a very slow failure. Very slow.
You're the man.
If you went back in time, we put the way back, right? We can go back 50 years, in 1970. And we're talking about comics. Everybody goes, why are you wasting your time with that stuff? People who I went to high school with consider all this stuff not worth a nickel. Now it's become more mainstream. And even people like my aunt know who Iron Man is now. Books you could buy in 1970, you could pay for a house now. I like comics. I like comics. And the more comics, the better. Some people who have stores don't, which is a secret that nobody needs to know.
The difference between what's right and what's wrong and good and evil.
I'll get grief from this from somebody. I still read comics, so we get the box of books every week, and we see all the new stuff going, that's a good book, and that's not a good book. And there's something for everybody. New release day is Wednesday. So we put out all the product on Wednesday. Some other stores don't. I do. People collect for all different reasons. We have idiosyncratic collectors only collect one thing. We have guys who only look new books. We have guys who collect titles.
And at a certain point, you realize that these things are actually made by skilled craftsmen, and that becomes an object of interest as well.
People all choose their own specialities.
I wanted to become a comic book artist, but I very quickly realized that I did not have the level of skill to accomplish that.
My personal collection is all this nutty 1950s stuff where Batman's a zebra and the purple gorilla. Yeah, Jimmy Olsen, that was some wacky stuff. As an adult, you go, adults made this, and go, wow. Those guys were just trying to provide entertainment back in the day. They would just be appalled. They never thought that we'd be looking at this stuff 60 years later. Somewhere in the future, the economics of publishing, it's just going to change. It's going to change radically and hard. So if you put this in a time capsule for 25 years, they won't believe it because it won't exist in 25 years in the same way. And listen, the thing is, I'm going to die soon enough, you know? And one day, all this will be somebody else's problem. This is Bill Bede of Frankenstein Comics in beautiful downtown Woodbury.
There's always value to be had here.
We'll see you in the funny books.